Welcome to part 3 of the series Building Flappy Bird in Unity 3D. In this part, we'll cover collisions, we'll add some seaweed, and we'll kill some fish. So let's jump back over to the editor. And the first thing we need to do is add something for us to actually collide with. So go over to your art folder and select the seaweed. Then drag that right into the hierarchy view. It should be covering our fish completely, just right in the middle. What I want to do is change the Y position over here to -6. So make sure the seaweed is selected, go to the Y area and just type -6. That puts the seaweed down just a little bit below the fish, so he has some room to fall. So let's hit play and see what happens. And you can see the fish just fell right through the seaweed. The reason for that is that we haven't told the physics system that we want our fish and seaweed to collide. To do that, we're going to select our fish, and we're going to hit Add Component, and we want to find the Polygon Collider 2D. So I could type poly in there, but I'm just going to go back and show you another way to find things. So with this cleared out, you'll see you have a menu. Let's select Physics 2D, and then scroll down and, oh, there it is, Polygon Collider 2D. So just select that, and the component's been added, and you may have noticed a little bit of green got added there. Now if I select my scene view and just use the mouse wheel, I can zoom in and just select the fish, and you can see the outline of the collider now. So the Polygon Collider 2D looks at the sprite and looks at the transparency and tries to build a collider that somewhat closely matches. So now that we've added a collider, let's hit play and see what happens. And he still falls through. Now, you may have guessed, the reason for this is that we didn't add a collider yet to our seaweed. So I want you to select the seaweed and just do the same thing. Go to Physics 2D, Polygon Collider 2D. There you can see we've added a collider. You've got the green outline. Before you hit play, I want you to pause this video and think for a second about what you expect to happen. Alright, hopefully you've thought about it. Let's see if you're right. Hit play. And watch as the fish rolls right off the seaweed. So because we haven't told the physics system to do anything, it's doing its default behavior. When objects collide, they stop or roll or bounce off of each other. Now for our game, that's not really the behavior that we want. So we're going to have to write a little bit of code. So let's go back over to our project view, select the code folder. Again, right click in here, hit create, and hit C# script. We're going to name this one Seaweed Collision Handler, all one word with no spaces. There we go. Now I'm going to open up that code file, and we should have the same default template that we had before, where we have a start and an update. For this case, we don't need start or update, so I'm going to select everything from line 16 to 14 and just hit delete. Now I'm going to tab over, and we're going to add some collision handling. Alright, so we're going to type out the following. Void on trigger enter 2D collider 2D other. Then we'll add some squiggly braces and a new line here. And you need to make sure that the casing for all of these is correct. Once you've got that, go to line 8, and we're just going to type in a simple line to write some text to a debug log. So we'll do debug.log entered, and then a semicolon at the end. I'm going to save this file off, and then I'm going to click back into the editor. I want to select the seaweed, and I want to take the seaweed collision handler and attach that. So to do that again, we can go to add component, type in seaweed collision handler. And then the other thing we need to do is check this is trigger checkbox. What that does is prevent the physics system from handling collisions in its default manner, and instead just call our code. So it'll no longer roll off, it'll just fall right through, but it should call our code to write out something to the log. So I want to hit play, and watch the fish fall. And you might be wondering where that log went. You can kind of see it down here in the bottom. It says entered. But if I go over to the console tab, see, here we go. We have a log entry where when the fish fell through, it said entered. So let's see that again. I'm going to stop it. We'll clear the log and we'll hit play. And as soon as it falls in, hits the seaweed, you should see that text. All right, there we go. Now, we don't want it to just fall through the seaweed. What we want to do is have our player lose the game. The fish dies, the level resets. Now, that's actually a pretty easy thing to do in this case. But before we can do it, we need to save our scene. So again, before we save anything, we're going to create a folder for that. So I'll select the assets folder, hit create folder, and name this scenes. Now I want to go to file up here and hit save scene as. I'm going to browse into the scenes folder and we'll just name the scene fish. So once you've got that there, just hit save and our scene is saved. Now if I go into the scenes folder, you can see I have a fish scene. To load a scene, I just double click it. Since we're already in that scene, you don't even notice anything changing. All right, now let's jump back over to our code and make our player lose when the fish hits the seaweed. Now to do that, we're going to take the code that we have on line 8 and just delete it. We want to do application.loadLevel and then some parentheses and a 0 and then a semicolon at the end. Now I'll save this. So we'll hit play, and as our fish falls, we should see the level reloading. Oh, there it goes. Now you might be wondering what load level 0 does. Load level, as the name implies, just loads a level or a scene from your project and then starts that scene. So because we haven't set up a list of scenes yet, it's just using the currently open one. But let's go in and set that up now so you can get an idea of where we define these scenes. So go to File, Build Settings, and you see Scenes and Build is empty. Let's just hit Add Current. And there you can see we've added scenes, fish.unity. And I'm going to hit Close. And then let's save our project. We haven't had to save our project yet because we haven't done anything that modifies the actual project files. We've only added things to our scene. Or added... So to do that, we just go in File and Save Project. And there we go. It was a little flash there. If you have a slower system, it may take a second or two. But don't worry, the project has been saved. So now I'm going to play one more time and just see if I can avoid hitting the seaweed. So hit play and just kind of click. Keep clicking, and he dies. Oh, died again. All right. In the next video, we'll cover some basics of parenting objects and start making our seaweed move and kind of turn this into more of a real game.